Yo, 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 and hello and welcome to the 125th episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go up for free every Wednesday in audio format on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast directories, and in video format on YouTube so you can see us in stunning high definition. This show is two childhood BFFs bringing you all things video games. You can find us online at createforsanity.com, where you can listen to episodes, subscribe for behind-the-scenes news, read rad articles, and buy sick t-shirts from our shop. Also, be sure to join the community in the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/GameSpeakPodcast to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. I'm one of your hosts, JAMAL Al-Jafra, alongside Brent, down with the sickness, Bass.
I tried.
That was like a tiny, I imagine like a Pomeranian dog being strangled.
That's the best I got, you know?
Give me your best. I know that wasn't your best.
Okay,
come on, let's hear it. Let's hear this.
I might have to do it a few times. Hang on. It's hard, dude, because you got to get that... You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Like,
I was imagining more of like a whisper one. I mean, you didn't have to go all out
no,
for
you
that.
gotta go all out. I mean, you said my best.
Okay,
you know?
all right.
I'm trying to give you the authentic Disturbed. You know, I'm trying to disturb you.
I'm kind of disturbed by it, dude.
Oh, good. That was my goal.
The first time I heard that song, I think I was disturbed by it. You know what I'm saying? Without an E, though. But like a disturbed. Disturbed.
I can't remember the first time I heard that song. I just
Me
remember
either.
the millions of times after that first time. You know?
I think the first time I heard it was ironically. I don't think I've ever listened to that song unironically.
Really? You never tried to listen to it just to see if it was your thing?
No, because there's 4 lyrics. And it's 1, there's nothing wrong with me. 2, there's nothing wrong with me.
No, that's the wrong song, bro.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you're thinking of let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the...
Wait, then how... Oh, okay, I got the songs mixed up. Hold on.
Yeah.
So, which song is that's the Down with the Sickness, right?
No.
Which one's... No, the...
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's Down with the Sickness. Yeah.
Oh.
And they do have a lot more lyrics to that song than Bodies Hit the Floor.
They're both the same song to me.
I don't know. I don't like I don't like Disturbed, but I feel like as a musician, you have to respect their instrumentals a little more than Drowning Pool. You know what I mean?
That's what I was thinking of. Drowning Pool.
I don't know.
DP, dude. Nothing like. I feel like Drowning Pool is whack.
My problem with that
Disturbed's
one band,
pretty
Disturbed.
whack too.
My problem with Disturbed is I'm just not into the vocals. It's kind of like Korn, you know. I get it, you know. I just don't like it, you know.
I don't get it. I mean, I'm just gonna be real. I don't get it. I don't think I've ever got it. Even whenever Korn was in its heyday, I was like, why though?
I mean, you got to look past the overtly stupid lyrics and the way the guy sings, you know
and
what I mean?
The music and all of it.
No, I don't know.
The aesthetic is horrible.
Okay, they're one of the few bands that correctly utilizes a 7-string guitar. You know what I mean?
What's correct about it?
That they're not playing nonsense on it. I mean, have you ever tried to play a 7-string guitar, dude? No,
I'm perfectly fine with 6.
It's pandemonium. That 7th string changes everything, dude.
I've heard actually Gary Romansky plays with a 7-string guitar.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He does it pretty well. But it doesn't sound like Korn when he plays it. So is he doing it wrong?
Well, I mean, maybe it's because he doesn't have some wacky guy singing over his guitar. You know,
But anyway, not to hate on it. I mean, if you like it, that's your thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying personally, I never got it. I never found it. You know, and that's for everyone listening too. I'm not hating on your music. I just don't personally like it.
Jamel hates it.
I hate it. I hope it never sees the light of day again. No, I mean, I listen to a lot of music that nobody else would probably enjoy, so I understand that. You know,
yeah,
I feel that. I I can sympathize. But yeah. So what have you been up to?
Oh, just
Down
listening
with the
to
sickness bass.
tons of Disturbed. No, no, I've been saving up for that cruise. You know, life happens. You know, we had to spend a little money. Me and Audra had to spend a little money, so we're gonna have like less money for the cruise than we thought we were going to. You know what I mean? But the good news is we already have our drink pass purchased. You know.
Yeah, at the very least, you can get blackout drunk
every night.
Yeah,
so there's that at least. And the drink pass for Royal Caribbean is better than the drink pass for Carnival. Like, you know, the last one we were on, you could get 15 drinks or whatever. It's unlimited on this one, and you get like unlimited like premium coffees and Red Bulls and water bottles and stuff.
Hell yeah, unlimited Red Bulls. You're gonna die on there.
I know.
Dude.
I already know. It's gonna be crazy. But
so they have to like airlift you off of the fucking cruise ship.
So like at least there's that, you know what I mean? And we have our food already because it's a cruise, you know. So like the main thing is like as long as I just like avoid the casino at all costs, I should be able to like stretch the money I'm bringing throughout the whole trip. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good call. Stay away from the casino, dude.
I'm going to try to limit myself to like $20 maximum in the casino, which I know is like just like a 5-minute stop, you know what I mean? But
yeah, but who knows? It could turn into
exactly. Well,
$100.
If I blow it up to like, you know, 60, what I'm going to do is just
don't play slots.
No slots. If I play anything, it's going to be blackjack. And my mom gave me this interesting. It's like a little card. She said they will more than likely let me have it at the table with me. And like the card has basically like a list of like rules to follow while you play blackjack. And according to the card, it takes the casino's odds, or the odds, they're always going to be in the casino's favor, but it makes the odds like 51 to 49 in the casino's favor. So you have like really good odds if you just follow the rules on the card.
Something tells me they're not going to let you have that.
I don't know. They let my mom do it all the time. That's why she sent it with me. But even if they don't, I have most of it memorized with the exception of like a few little things. You know what I mean? So,
dude, I hope you win some blackjack. Dude.
I'm not counting on it. You know, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to try to avoid the casino as much as possible. Oh, and in Grand Cayman, we already have paid off a snorkeling excursion.
Nice.
So
okay.
we at least get to do that too.
That's nice. You get to snorkel. Beware of the stingrays.
Oh, yeah. Don't want to pull a Steve Irwin, right?
No,
this is actually going to be, we're going to snorkel over this, like, crashed Navy vessel or some shit, and apparently a bunch of fish live in it, and then they're going to take us over to, like, a coral reef and let us swim around over there. So.
Dude, you're going to see sharks, dude.
Sharks! Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, so Brent's going to be gone next week on this cruise. We'll probably have a weird offshoot episode. We're going to have a friend come on in Brent's place just to hold us over till he gets back.
Meanwhile, I'll be sitting in Cozumel listening to this
new episode of GameSpeak podcast.
This Brentless episode. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird.
Just hearing like the episode. I mean, at first it was just going to be me by myself, which would have made it even more weird. But at least this time I'll have somebody to talk back and forth with, you know, like
maybe I'll drop a listener question or something for you
dude,
guys.
Yes, drop a listener question. We're going to need those. But yeah, also, since you're going to be in the casino, hopefully you have better luck than you had with our Couch Bro Op episode coming up this upcoming Saturday. We played some Mario Party on the golden level where, like, you know, you can get like 3 stars at a time. And I'm not going to spoil it, but let's just say Brent didn't have the best of luck. So. No,
you know, it was close. It was close, but
which is rare because normally I have the bad luck and Brent has the good luck. So, but the tables have turned.
Yeah, well, so, you know, I'll get you next time.
Yeah, check that out on our YouTube channel. We only need 9 more subscribers till we can change it to GameSpeak Podcast. So, if you haven't subscribed over there, you want to help us out, go subscribe over there. Shout out to all of our Patreon backers that have joined us.
We love you guys.
Yeah, we love you. So that's basically it. That's what's been happening. I watched that show, or not show, but Netflix has a bunch of awesome stuff coming out this month, including the Invader Zim movie on like the 15th.
I know they're doing Rocko's Modern Life this month, right? Too
comes out the day before the Invader Zim one, I think.
That's
and
exciting. I know there's a new season of Glow. If you like Glow, coming out. I know it might just be. I might be one of the only people that like that, but they've done 3 seasons, so maybe I'm not the only person that likes it.
Yeah, who knows? It could just be you. No,
it's a good show. I finished Orange is the New Black. It was the most disappointing fucking end. That whole last season was just trash, dude.
Really?
It was just straight trash. Like, it was trash. Like, I can't say it enough.
That's what happened with Game of Thrones. I feel like people just don't know how to end shows.
I think so. You know what I think it was more than anything? I think that they because they had announced it was the last season way long time ago. You know what I mean? And I think everybody was just kind of like, fuck it. You know? Like the actors didn't seem like they really gave a shit. The fucking writing was sloppy. Like everything was just it was just like they just didn't give a shit, dude. Like
you would think you would want to end it on a high note though, so you could have it on your resume.
Yeah. Either way, you know, I mean, it was time to bring that show to an end anyway, but damn, they really just fucking took it out behind the shed and
shot it like Old Yeller.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and then I watched this documentary that they just put out on Netflix called Enter the Anime.
I wanted to watch that. I saw a preview for that.
It's good. It's so this lady who knows nothing about anime, they chose her to make a documentary about behind the scenes for all the anime stuff that's been coming to Netflix. So Agretsuko.
So they're specifically focused on the anime or the Netflix?
The Netflix animes.
Okay.
So Baki and all that stuff. But she kind of goes behind the scenes and you meet the crazy characters that are working on these shows and directing them, because in Japan these guys are superstars, you know.
Sure, yeah.
And they have very weird things about them. Like the guy who made Castlevania, not the anime. This is just kind of an off thing. The guy who made the original Castlevania, he dresses like a cowboy vampire. He's very strange, the way he dresses and stuff. It's really cool. And they all have these weird, things about them. Like the guys who work on Baki, he's yeah, I work out because, I want to try and see what it's like to be the character and all this stuff. It's so weird.
Is Netflix as popular everywhere else in the world as it is in America, or is it?
I believe so.
Okay.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I would too. I just I don't know.
I think it's numero uno in the world.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
But yeah. So watch that if you like anime. But anyways, that's kind of what I've been up to this week, is watching Netflix stuff, catching up on some good reads, watching Penny Dreadful. We're on the last season of that.
Nice.
Very good show. Anyways, so let's jump into the video game news, the stuff that you guys are here for. Just so you know, we're using articles from gaming news sites from around the web, and we do not claim any of the material as our own. We're simply giving commentary on these articles.
Yes.
You want to start us off?
I can. Let's see. I don't even really want to go too far into this one because it's just, done to death on all the video game people. But, more or less, the White House is blaming video games for all the mass shootings. So, the president's saying they're going to crack down on,
This is a dead
There's
fly.
A dead fly. The president's saying they're going to crack down on these violent video games to, cut back on the violent shooting or whatever. I don't know, man.
What does that even mean? How are you going to cut down on the violent video games?
They're going to regulate it harder, I guess. He says they're going to make them harder to get, but I don't really understand how you do that because it's already got basically the same rating system. I guess one way to do that would be to just unify ESRB and whatever motion picture rating system. You might as well just switch it over to RG, PG, PG-13 rating system. You know what I mean? And have it all regulated. You know what I mean? I
don't even think that's what's gonna happen. I don't think anything's gonna happen.
I don't think so either, because they've been talking about this kind of thing since Columbine or before that. Even.
Well, it's a fucking scapegoat. It's a scapegoat. Whenever nobody has the answer to why these idiots take a gun and shoot, groups of people for no reason, you go and you look for an answer where there's no answer. You just start digging for things. You're like, well, he did mention a video game. It's like, yeah, but he also mentioned Trump. He also mentioned his racist, illegal immigrant motivations. Like, he mentioned all these things, but the one thing that they're going to, focus in on is the thing that has nothing to do with them. So it's like, well, he did say Call of Duty, but what he said was, don't do your Call of Duty, like in this guy's manifesto or whatever. He's like, don't go for like a heavily guarded area to fulfill your Call of Duty fantasy or whatever. And I'm like, he's literally saying, don't do that, in his manifesto. But for some reason, because he said Call of Duty, it's like he said a video game. It's like,
see, I think the problem here is less about video games and less about, this and that, and more about the fact that this guy's manifesto is out there for people to read. The fact that people are giving this guy credit or glory, or people even know his name at all. I think the fact that the media glorifies these people and makes them seem like they're some kind of like, I don't know, like, even if they come across as like a Hitler, they're remembered. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
That's the problem. That's what these people want more than anything, is to be remembered for doing something horrible. And like, I think if you just deny them that, you'd see a lot less. I don't know.
I agree. And I think it's like, violent video games and violent movies and stuff are in every country. It's like, why is it that only in America, we're having these mass shooting issues like on like almost daily basis? It can't be the video games, because everybody plays video games.
It's true.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And movies too. If you want to drag video games into the discussion, you can't not put other forms of media in that same discussion. Like even music, I don't know. It's just silly to me. Like,
it is.
To pinpoint and target video games as opposed to like everything media related. You know what I mean?
I think it's archaic thinking.
Yeah.
Like it's like literally the shit that you'd see, like the satanic panic, like from back in the day. It's like, oh, Satan's doing it. It's like, guys, chill the fuck out. Like, go fucking figure it out. But don't fucking just like, how many fucking times do we have to prove that there's no correlation between video games and violent actions in teenagers or anybody? Like, how many scientists have to come out and be like, no, there's no correlation. We've done a whole, test on this. And
not to mention, I mean, the fact of the matter is that the majority of adult males play video games. I mean, I don't think I'm wrong there. I think
no, they do.
I think that over 60% of just people in general play video games. Even if it's just a game on your phone or something,
in some form.
Somebody, like, most of us play games. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just crazy to
It's a
think
game.
About.
It's entertainment. But anyways, yeah, enough on that, because we'll never find an answer.
True that.
All I can say is fuck the government. Gamescom 2019 kicks off in Cologne, Germany later this month. Before the convention proper begins, the Game Awards producer Jeff Keighley will be hosting an opening night live broadcast that promises to give viewers an exclusive look at a number of upcoming titles, including the anticipated PS4 exclusive Death Stranding. Keighley revealed that Metal Gear creator Hideo Kojima will make an appearance during the Gamescom opening night live broadcast, which will air on Monday, August 19th. Kojima will premiere an exclusive new look at his enigmatic PS4 game during the show, which will mark the first new footage we've seen of it since the release date trailer that dropped back in May. Wait, why are you laughing?
Just more. I bet it's going to be really confusing.
This time it's like a foot instead of hands.
That's what I'm imagining. It's just gonna like it's gonna be like a dark screen, and then it's gonna fade in, and like Norman Reedus is gonna be sitting there with a baseball hat on, and he's gonna turn around, and then it's gonna be like a Major League Baseball stadium, and like the pitcher's gonna throw a ball, and then it's gonna go in slow mo, and the ball's gonna have like a fetus in it, and like Norman Reedus is gonna knock it out of the fucking park,
knock it out of the park,
and then the ball's gonna explode, and like all these demons are gonna come out and start attacking people in the fucking.
And then, like,
it's gonna be wild, dude. It's gonna just be some crazy random shit
that makes no sense. Norman Reedus is like gonna rip in half ass first. And look.
He just splits from the asshole to the mouth. He like flips upside down, like on the home plate of the pitcher mound or whatever.
Exactly. At the end of it all, his baseball bat grows a pair of legs and like gets up and runs out of the fucking stadium.
Keanu Reeves walks out,
takes a shit.
We got work to do. Oh fuck, dude.
Yeah. And then the mystery van pulls up.
Scooby-Doo jumps out.
Okay, but yes, but Kojima won't be the only developer premiering exclusive footage during the Gamescom opening night live stream. More than 15 of the industry's biggest publishers will also make announcements and debut world premiere content during the broadcast, in addition to a number of indie studios. Specific games and announcements will be detailed ahead of the broadcast, but some of the publishers that will be participating in the show include 2K, Activision, Bandai Namco, Bungie, Capcom, EA, Epic Games, Google Stadia, Deep Silver, Private Division, Sega, Square Enix, Sony, THQ Nordic, Ubisoft, Xbox Game Studios. And Gamescom opening night live begins at 11 a.m. PT on August 19th, while Gamescom proper takes place on from August 21st through the 24th.
Cool. Gamescom is a good one to keep your eye on if you are into those kind of like conventions and stuff. Gamescom, excuse me. Just didn't want to come out of my mouth there. It's like peanut butter. Hello Games has announced that No Man's Sky will receive its next major update called The Beyond on August 14th. The Beyond expansion includes the ability to play the entire game in virtual reality and expands its online multiplayer functionality. It will be a free update on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Beyond includes No Man's Sky Online, which introduces a new social and multiplayer experience allowing players to meet and play together. Hello Games previously announced this feature as an easier way to meet up and play with your friends, but it says it doesn't consider this a shift to an MMO structure because it doesn't feature a subscription or microtransactions. The update also brings NMS virtual reality to PS4 and PC, letting you explore the entire procedurally generated galaxy in VR. There's also a third component to the update that Hello Games is not yet talking about. Big deal in the VR community. Everybody's kind of hyped about this right now. And I think it'll be cool to have this multiplayer update with the VR because I'm pretty sure it'll let you like interact with people who aren't playing in VR. So the community should be a lot more active than like a normal VR game. You know what I mean?
Because it would just be the normal multiplayer and some people would be playing VR.
Exactly.
Nice.
So I think that'd be kind of cool.
So Google has announced another Stadia Connect live stream for later this month, right before Gamescom 2019 kicks off. The show will begin on August 19th at 10 a.m. PT. We don't yet know much about what will be shown during the conference. Google has only said that this stream will be all about the games and that it will be revealing brand new titles and go behind the scenes with our partners. The company also said members of the public can get hands-on time with Stadia at Gamescom, which kicks off on August 21st.
Honestly, now that I know that Stadia isn't like Netflix for video games, I'm a lot less enthusiastic about it. You know what I mean? I actually kind of like was excited about it when they first announced it, but like the more I know about it, the less I care about it.
Yeah, it's not as exciting because you have to pay for the subscription and then pay for the games as well.
Exactly.
It's like, why?
It's like, this would be neat if it was just like, hundreds of games at my fingertips, and it's like, it's not that, and that's what I want. And I think I'm going to get that from like Xbox or somebody. So it's like, I might as well just...
Which you do with Games Pass.
Yeah, exactly. Or even PlayStation Now. But, I want Game Pass to start doing, like, streaming pretty soon.
Rather than
xCloud
installing
nice.
Every time.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the install option, I just want to be able to stream it for a little bit to see if it's my kind of game. Because, games definitely do run better after they've been installed on the hard drive. There's no denying it, But... it's kind of cool because PlayStation Now does that now, where you can like try a game by streaming it, and if you like it, you can download it. Yeah, and I think Game Pass is going there. I really do.
For sure. What you got?
Let's see. The indie developers behind the farming and creature collecting game Ooblets recently announced an exclusivity deal with Epic to launch the title as a timed exclusive for the Epic Store. I'll save you guys the whole spiel because, as you can guess, everybody was super duper pissed about it. They sent.
Not ooblets.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, who gives a fuck about ooblets? But apparently, thousands, if not tens of thousands, that's a direct quote from these people, have sent hateful, threatening messages to the ooblets people because of their exclusivity deal.
People are so stupid.
Like,
I'm sorry,
threatening messages over ooblets, dude. Like,
it's like an indie developer like trying to make it out here. Weren't they under Double Fine?
They were at first, and then when Microsoft bought Double Fine, they lost their funding for the game, which is why they had to go with the Epic exclusive deal in the first place.
How dare they fucking try to make their game, dude?
Right? Like, I mean, they just had to get funding. Like, what do you guys want from these people? You know what I mean?
They're sellouts, bro. They should have kept making games in their van under the bridge.
I don't know. It's disheartening to me. Like, I get it if you want to be mad at these big companies and stuff, but like, this is a
leave
small...
ooblets alone.
Yeah, this is like a small indie developer. Probably it's like a fucking like 10-man studio or some shit. Like, just leave these people alone. You know what I mean? You don't have to harass these poor people. You know what I mean?
They're just like trying to make their fucking ooble dooble game.
They're just trying to make the ooblets, bro. I feel so bad for those people that have to endure the wrath of just humanity right now. Like,
it's fine though, because all it's doing is bringing them, attention.
It is. I guess any publicity is better than no publicity, right?
Yeah, you just gotta have like no heart though. So like, I feel like ooblets and all the people at ooblets should just get used to it. They're just going to get real, like, cold-hearted, and that, that's the way that life works.
You've got a great point, though, because I would have never heard about ooblets were it not for this negative publicity. And, I still don't give a shit, but there's maybe somebody who does,
Yeah.
So.
They should just own it. They should just start wearing dark clothes and shit, and, like, go in whenever people ask for interviews, be like, sorry, ooblets don't talk. No, but
shades, just like
just real badass. A movie based on The Division starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Jessica Chastain is on the way, but it probably won't come out anytime soon. Director David Leitch, Deadpool 2 Hobbs and Shaw, gave an interview recently where he spoke about how the Netflix movie is coming along. Quote, I'm excited about the material, and it is potentially next for us, Leitch told a Hollywood Reporter. We are currently in the script phase. Then it's about getting everybody's schedule to line up and making sure that we're ready to go with a script we're 100% behind. Leitch said the process of getting everything together to finally break ground on the Division movie is accelerating quickly. The director added that he's confident that the right team has been assembled to give the movie a shot at being great. He said, I love that material, and I love the potential of working with those two incredible actors. And he said, the creative team on that is Kelly McCormick as a producer, myself, Jake, and Jessica. We have a really core team that cares about the material and is going to work hard to make it great. In a separate interview, Gyllenhaal said he would be interested in training for the Division movie at Leitch's 8711 Action Design Studio. Keanu Reeves worked with 8711 to prepare for a starring role in the action movie franchise John Wick. Yeah, I'm up for it. I'm up for anything, man. Gyllenhaal said, this job is about the experiences you have off camera as much as the experiences you have on camera, so I'm down. Yeah, that's...
I mean, I don't really care about particularly the Division 1, because I haven't played the Division 2. I've heard it's very good. But I didn't really like Division 1 that much when it first dropped. I heard it got better over time, but I only played it like right at the beginning. You know what I mean? But, that being said, there's very little, like set... solid story going on and a whole lot of lore. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it is I could see this making a good TV show. Maybe even better than a video game.
This is going to be a movie though.
Oh, really? A movie?
Yeah, it's going to be a movie, a Netflix movie.
Well, I could see that being good too. I can see it kind of being like a Red Dawn kind of movie with like adults instead of kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Could be good. I mean, with Jake Gyllenhaal, I doubt these actors are going to stick to this though. I just doubt it's going to happen.
Yeah, I doubt this movie's even going to get made.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, I'm surprised The Witcher got made. You know what? I'll be surprised about. I saw a like a preview thing. It wasn't like a preview, but it was like a picture. You know, it would be a movie poster if it wasn't on
Yeah.
Netflix, but it was like a movie poster basically, but it was like for the Resident Evil Netflix thing, and it was like this big spooky door with like cobwebs all over it, and it said Resident Evil. So I don't know if that was real or not, but
Probably not.
but it got me kind of hyped.
Yeah,
So I hope that comes before fucking
Division.
the Division. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I just don't care. You know,
No, me either.
there's enough good action war movies out there without me having to fucking, you know.
You can't get loot in a movie. You know.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyways, what you got?
Let's see. Upon release in September 2018, NBA 2K19 was heralded by critics and fans alike as an excellent professional basketball sim with a microtransaction problem. Despite the controversy surrounding the game's microtransactions, NBA 2K19 is the biggest sports game success in 2K's history. During an earnings call tomorrow, 2K owner Take-Two said NBA 2K19 has now shipped 12 million copies. That makes it 2K's most successful sports game in the company's history. Not only did the game ship a record-breaking number of copies, but NBA 2K19 microtransactions are proving to be incredibly popular. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick said NBA 2K19's recurrent consumer spending revenue, which includes microtransactions, was up 140% during the quarter end on June 30th. Zelnick said NBA 2K19 is seeing extraordinary growth in average games played and daily active users. NBA 2K19's microtransactions come in the form of virtual currency that 2K sells in various allotments from $2 to $100. Blah, blah, blah. Hang on, there's more here. Let's see. Numerous other reviews. Yeah, it says, beyond microtransactions, 2K added seemingly unskippable pregame ads to NBA 2K19 in a move that rubbed some fans the wrong way. So.
Yeah. But, I mean, I guess some people like paying for microtransactions.
I mean, microtransactions are one thing, but, like, unskippable ads in a game you paid for?
But what they're talking about is how well it did, you know?
Yeah, I know, and that's the problem, you know?
Yeah, that's the future, you know? That's the future we're going to be living in.
Hate it.
So Rockstar's open world Western Red Dead Redemption 2 has now shipped 25 million copies. Parent company Take-Two Interactive announced the new shipment figure during an earnings report. The new shipment figure of 25 million counts copies shipped through June 30th, and it's up from the 24 million figure announced in May. Copies shipped through April 31st, 2019. And 23 million announced in February 2019. Red Dead Redemption 2 shipped 17 million copies right at launch back in October 2018. All of these figures are for copies shipped to retailers and not necessarily sold through to consumers. However, sold in stock is generally a good indication of how many copies a title is sold through to people. The Red Dead Redemption 2 also makes money from Red Dead Online's microtransactions. During an earnings call, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick said he is excited by the continuing momentum of Red Dead Online, though he did not share any specific numbers for player spending. Whatever the case, Zelnick said he expects Rockstar's online comprising Red Dead Online and GTA Online to set a new revenue record during the current fiscal year for both Red Dead Online and GTA Online. Zelnick teased that players can expect much more content to come in the future.
Cool.
Is 25 million really that much though? Like for a Rockstar game?
I think so. I mean, it's a lot for pretty much any game, right?
How many copies of GTA 5 have been sold? Isn't it like 500 million?
Oh,
or
it's
something?
in the hundreds of millions for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's over 100 million. I don't think it's like 500. I think it's like 150 million or some shit.
Oh, okay.
I could look it up real quick. Hang on, if you want.
No, that's fine. I mean, I know it's in the 100 millions. I was just wondering compared.
But you also have to think, you know, it's doing better than like some of the top Switch games, and the Switch doesn't have very much. Well, then again, there's a lot more consoles in circulation.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But there's also
less people with Switches than there are with people.
True, but there's a lot more or a lot less competition as far as good games on the Switch. You know what I mean?
It's not on the Switch.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
This is a bad example. Sorry.
Okay.
I
was like, where are you going with this?
I was really talking about like Pokemon from the Switch, like comparatively, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's an exclusive.
Kind of apples and oranges.
Yeah.
So on a related note, more than 6 years after it launched in October 2013, Grand Theft Auto 5's online mode continues to set records. Rockstar recently added a major new feature in the form of the new Diamond Casino update, which introduced a casino full of games to play and rewards to earn. The feature has proven immensely popular, giving GTA Online some of its biggest days ever, despite the ongoing updates for another Rockstar game, Red Dead Redemption 2, which sports its own Red Dead Online mode. GTA Online recently broke its record for the most players in a single day on July 23rd, and then for the entire week after launch, July 23rd through 29th. So they got record numbers going down over there way, way later than the game came out. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, so it's pretty good. It says GTA in November 2015 was averaging at least 8 million players a week. So the figure has to be higher than that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So Fire Emblem Three Houses is available now on Nintendo Switch, but there's still a lot of content on the way for the game. In addition to an upcoming free update, Nintendo will be releasing several waves of DLC as part of the title's expansion pass, and the company has outlined when fans can expect that content to arrive. The first wave of DLC launched alongside the game and added male and female officers academy outfits for protagonist Byleth. Wave 2 is scheduled to release by October 31st, 2019, and will introduce new auxiliary battle maps, as well as helpful in-game support items and some additional content. The third wave of DLC will follow by December 31st and will add new quests and costumes, while the fourth is slated to arrive by April 30th, 2020, and will introduce new story content, including additional playable characters and locations. All four waves of DLC will only be sold as part of Fire Emblem Three Houses expansion pass, which runs for $25 US. You can read more details about the expansion pass on Nintendo's website. Everyone who purchases a copy of the game is also entitled to receive Byleth in the mobile Fire Emblem Heroes game. But yeah, so there you go. So If you bought the game, you got a bunch of stuff heading your way.
I like that. Let's see. Halo, the Master Chief Collection, is coming to PC. And basically, the whole point of this article is that it's going to have full mod support, which is pretty cool, and anti-cheating measures in place. So
yeah, you got to have that for the PC.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what kind of crazy mods they come up with. Maybe like an Incredible Hulk Master Chief or something like
Thomas the Tank Engine Master Chief.
Yeah, dude. Thomas the Tank Engines with those little shields like the the jackals have. You know?
It'd be terrifying. It's just Master Chief, but all the masks are the face of Thomas from Thomas the Tank Engine.
Dude, we just need to make a Thomas the Tank Engined out version of Halo.
God, be horrifying. All the Banshees are just trains.
Thomas the Halo Engine.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has smashed a record, knocking out a new peak viewership number for concurrent viewers at this weekend's EVO 2019 tournament. The latest Smash game closed out EVO as the main event this year for the first time, though Smash Bros. Melee has been a longtime favorite at the annual fighting game tournament. Twitter user Rod Breslau noted the record with a screenshot pointing out it had hit 279,000 concurrent viewers. That topples the previous record holder Dragon Ball FighterZ set in 2018 with more than 257,000 concurrent viewers via Twin Galaxies. At the time, that was also the all-time high, so some of this boost for Smash Bros. Could show an increasing popularity for the EVO tournament. That's pretty neat. So I think, whatchamacallit, esports is getting pretty popular.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
It's growing.
Especially since that kid won all that money the other day. I think in the next 10 years, it's going to be like
it's going to be bigger than sports.
Yeah, for real.
Especially in the younger generations. I feel like they're going to get further and further away from like actual sports and get more into like the esports
Either
stuff.
That or they're somehow going to like combine the two with some kind of like
some weird thing called like virtual reality.
But like a super high tech version, where like it's like full contact, like football kind of thing, like where you're just jumping and tackling people in like a room. I don't know.
Whenever somebody comes out with VR called reality, that's whenever you know they've reached the next level, dude.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Wait, is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay. Free game trials are a common practice on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, but much less so on Nintendo consoles. However, if you are a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber, you'll soon have a chance to play one of the system's Mario games at no charge for a limited time. Beginning this Wednesday, August 7th, Nintendo will hold a free trial period for Mario Tennis Aces. NSO members will be able to play the full game for free until 11:59 PT on August 13th.
That's awesome. I'm going to get that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it.
And if you like it, you can get an additional 30% off on the actual game if you want to buy it until August 20th. So
I'll just buy it used somewhere if I like it. The Pokemon Company has teased more information on its upcoming Pokemon Sword and Shield titles this week. The new Galar research update will drop on August 7th at 6 a.m. PT. We don't know yet what information could be included in this update. The major details such as the game's release date and legendaries have already been revealed. It's possible we could learn more about the game's evil team, who haven't been revealed yet, or see some new creatures. The most recent Galar research update brought news on Gigantamaxing, the Galar Pokemon League, and on the game's gym leaders, among other details. We also learned Sword and Shield have version-exclusive gyms. For more, check out all the differences between Pokemon Sword and Shield. I don't know. But
version-exclusive gyms are a good idea. I feel like there isn't enough difference between the two versions, like in previous iterations of Pokemon. I'd like to see that like more diverse, because like I've never had a reason to like, okay, now I gotta go
both of them.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think even having version different gyms will make me want to buy different games unless like the story changes, but which it won't. I'm super excited for this. I want to see what kind of info they give out, even if it is about the evil team. That stuff's exciting to me.
Me too.
But
let's see. The past few months for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie have been a trying one for everyone involved in the film. Now, Jim Carrey, who plays antagonist Dr. Ivo Robotnik in the upcoming 2020 film, has given his take on all of this. During the Television Critics Association presentation for Carrey's Showtime series Kidding, the actor opened up for the first time about the controversy. He discussed fans loving these characters since they were children and claiming ownership of them. I don't know quite how I feel about the audience being in on the creation of it. We'll see what that entails, because sometimes you find out that the collective consciousness decides it wants something, and then when it gets it, I just wanted it. I didn't care about it. I just jumped on the bandwagon, Carrey explained. Ownership of anything is going out the window for all of us. The first trailer was released in May, and after the fan backlash about the titular character's look, director Jeff Fowler announced that the character will be getting redesigned, blah blah blah, the rest is history. But it sounds like Jim Carrey isn't too pleased about the redesign.
Well, I wasn't too pleased about the design, so Jim Carrey can suck it. I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't care, because I don't think the movie's going to be good either way. You could make him look exactly like Sonic the Hedgehog, and this movie's going to be trash. Like, as far as I can tell.
You're right about that.
It's like, if anything, just redo the whole goddamn movie, or don't put it out.
I just don't put it out.
Yeah, just let it be.
Just don't.
Sonic's already dying in the video games. Like there hasn't been a good Sonic video game in a long time. I mean, there was like the class. What was the one that came out where it had like Sonic Mania, which was made by like the fans, literally.
You know what they should do to promote this movie? They should give away like a Sonic game with the movie. Like, you come in, how like your Pokemon movie, you get your Pokemon card, and you just have like a little, like a disc. Or
the Escape from the City on like vinyl or something.
Oh, dude.
Just that song.
City
though.
Escape, dude.
Escape from the City. Yeah, like on vinyl.
That would be sick.
And it has like cool, like, you know, exclusive art on the front, and then that's it. That right there would sell tickets alone. People wouldn't even watch the movie; they just go get their vinyl and leave. But anyways, Capcom is asking for feedback on a new game it has in development. Interesting enough in itself, but the kicker is that it's specifically asking the Japanese Resident Evil community. The email to Resident Evil ambassadors, which was seen and translated by Resi fan site BioHaze, informs them of a new game that's in development. The email reads, "To all Resident Evil ambassadors, thank you for your patronage regarding the Resident Evil series. Today we are letting you know that we are recruiting testers for a game that's in development. We are interested in incorporating the feedback of all ambassadors into our development. So please read the details below, and if you are interested in participating, click the entry button." It's unclear which game Capcom is referring to in the email. It's possible the company is working on the next mainline entry to the series or another remake akin to this year's Resident Evil 2 remake. However, Resident Evil 5 and 6 are being ported to Switch later this year, so it could merely be these versions undergoing testing. They may not necessarily be a Resident Evil title at all. Of course, though, it would perhaps be a strange move to ask the Resident Evil community for feedback on a non-Resident Evil game.
Man, why can't I be Japanese, dude?
Dude, same. Every day I ask myself that.
Let's see. Google is testing a new premium app subscription service, which appears positioned in part to compete with Apple Arcade. The Google Play Pass costs $5 a month and offers a selection of hundreds of premium apps and games without ads or in-app purchases. Android Police reports that the service appears to be in the final stages of testing. It promises everything from puzzle games to premium music apps. Some of the games spotted will include Stardew Valley, Marvel Pinball, and Risk. The inclusion of premium apps in addition to games could serve as a distinction from Apple Arcade, which is a games-only subscription service. Like Play Pass, games in Apple Arcade won't have in-app purchases or ads. It goes on to talk about Apple for a little bit, but basically Google's coming on the scene with their own thing. And if it's only $5 a month and you actually get some kind of decent premium music thing, that would be really cool.
Like if you got Spotify plus all those games for $5 a month, that'd be fucking like that would just destroy the market.
Even if you got like a knockoff Spotify, you know, like something that functioned like Spotify but wasn't quite Spotify, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I would be okay with that.
Same. Halo Reach is coming to Xbox One, but the wait for it just got longer. Developer 343 Industries has now confirmed that the first flight, or beta test, has been delayed. In a blog post via ONMSFT, 343 explained to fans that making games is hard. For Halo Reach, which is part of the Master Chief Collection, the studio pointed out that the package comprises 7 games and 11 game engines that live under the roof of one title, the Master Chief Collection, while sharing the same hardware resources. As for why Reach's beta for Xbox One has been delayed, 343 said it comes down to how the studio is trying to use Unreal Engine 4 to run the new character customization options in the new progression system coming to MCC on Xbox One. In particular, the studio is running into issues related to memory constraints. This, however, has proved to be quite challenging, as MCC was already close to memory limits running on the original Xbox One consoles, 343 said. Bringing the entire progression and customization system into MCC also requires memory to be used to run the additional Unreal Engine 4 engine. Currently, a lot of progress has been made in getting it up and running, but the title still is not within memory constraints to properly run on the Xbox One. In order to flight on Xbox One, we need to be within these limits. Otherwise, instability will be an issue. Reach's release on Xbox One will remain delayed until the team has an adequate solve for this unique issue. 343 added that the studio is pushing hard to find a solution.
Cool.
Yeah.
A little more Halo stuff over here. We talked about Showtime's Halo show that they're working on and how Pablo Schreiber is going to be Master Chief.
Yeah.
But what we didn't talk about is that there is a new character cast in the show playing Cortana. It's going to be the chick from Californication, Natasha McElhone. And she's going to play Dr. Catherine Halsey and, of course, Cortana.
That's weird. So, like, she'll be doing the voice of Cortana and then also playing, who?
Catherine Halsey, the doctor from Halo 5 or 4?
4 or 5, I can't remember.
It was one of those where she, like, it's the same person. So I think it's going to be like an older version of Cortana. So she's going to play like the young holographic Cortana and the old doctor that is Cortana's like...
Halsey.
Yeah.
Okay. This was big news for everyone but me. Streamer Ninja, whose real name is Tyler Blevins, is ditching Twitch for rival streaming platform Mixer. The super popular streamer announced the news in a fake press conference video. He stated that nothing will change in terms of content. It's the same me, just a different platform, he said. Intriguingly, Ninja also said he plans to get back in touch with my roots as it relates to streaming. That's noteworthy because Ninja started out as a popular Halo streamer before going on newer titles. He is most recently famous for streaming Fortnite. Microsoft's next Halo game, Halo Infinite, launches in holiday 2020. Master Chief even makes an appearance in the announcement video, which further suggests Ninja coming to Mixer may be related to Halo, and specifically helping to promote Halo Infinite. Ninja was far and away the most followed Twitch user with some 14.7 million followers. Microsoft is surely hoping that a portion of Ninja's audience moves with him to Mixer. Ninja's Mixer page is already incredibly popular, picking up 100,000 plus subscribers in its first day. Ninja is offering free subscriptions in August that gets you 22 Ninja-themed emoticons and no ads. Just like on Twitch, Ninja said he plans to stream from 9:30 a.m. CST to 6 p.m. CST every single day. Microsoft's signing of Ninja comes not long after the company laid off content creators and producers at Mixer and Insider Xbox, according to Game Daily. Damn, he streams every day from 9:30 a.m. till 6 p.m.
I guess if you're making enough money to do it as a job, you got to treat it like a job.
But every day, you don't even take a day off, like not even a weekend. Like, can you imagine every fucking day you're sitting on your ass, just like doing nothing?
He surely like goes out and exercises or something. He's not like...
Yeah, probably before and after the fucking 9 hours of like just sitting on his ass. I couldn't do it. My diabetes wouldn't let me.
So, I don't know, man. I don't know shit about Mixer, but I guarantee you he was paid to go over there, like, handsomely.
Yeah, of course. You don't just do that for free. And also, I mean, if he loved Halo so much, I'm sure they offered him something to do with Halo Infinite, so he was like, fuck yeah.
Sure, and he probably is gonna... He's probably moving over a little early so he can sharpen up his Halo skills before...
before
they're
probably
Infinite
giving him
comes
some
out.
behind the scenes, like, oh yeah.
Because he knows when that shit drops, he's got to be, like, really good, or else,
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
It's got to be numero uno.
Yes. Let's see. As another week comes to an end, 2 more PC games are free from the Epic Games Store. If you need some weekend entertainment, mystery thriller Alan Wake and action fighting game For Honor are both free. They said that they're giving away 2 games this week, and every week that they do a rated M game. Apparently, if Epic gives away a free rated M game, they will always give you a game that's not rated M to go with it, just in case
you're too young.
So that's pretty considerate and cool of Epic.
Yeah, in case you forget to just change your birthday.
Right.
Anyways, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 launched with Blackout, Treyarch's foray into the massively popular Battle Royale genre. Though the genre is rife with potential, it's steadily becoming oversaturated with content, something developer Infinity Ward seems to be aware of. As it stands, Infinity Ward is uninterested in a Battle Royale mode for the upcoming Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Joe Kakat, Infinity Ward's multiplayer design director, told IGN that Black Ops 4 and Modern Warfare are different vibes, saying the studio is honing in on the core multiplayer experience. Quote, "We're big fans of Battle Royale. We're excited for large player counts and things like that, but right now we're really focused on core multiplayer. So it seems Modern Warfare will feature nothing similar to Black Ops 4 Blackout." Sakat explained, saying, "We really focused on Modern Warfare authentic and gritty realistic weapons, and it's a different experience. It's really just about pulling back to Modern Warfare and keeping that pure.
Cool. I'm not mad about that. I'm glad they have a story mode. That's all that really matters to me. It kind of breaks my heart that they didn't do a story mode for Black Ops 4. I don't know. Let's see. Video game retailer has suffered another setback, it seems, as the company has reportedly announced a GameStop reboot initiative that is resulting in dozens of layoffs. A memo announcing the move leaked on Twitter states that more than 50 field leaders are losing their jobs. Those affected include regional managers, district managers, loss prevention managers, and HR staff. According to the letter, the memo states that GameStop is looking to reduce our cost structure and build efficiencies into our field leadership organizations so that we can reinvest in the business. It goes on to state that these decisions are not easy, but necessary to help us reduce costs and enable revenue-driving initiatives that will help grow the business once again.
The business will never grow.
This trying so hard over there, dude.
I know. It's like I don't want them to fail, but it's like they're
circling the drain.
They're
that
making
CEO who jumped ship a few years ago had the right idea, dude.
Yeah,
he's like, fuck this.
They're making it almost like it's just like now at this point it's like pathetic and like sad to watch. It's like a man who's been like dying for like a week, and it's like he's dying, and like you just want to just take the gun and just end it all for him.
It's like somebody who's gonna lose their kids, and they're fighting super hard to get their kids back, and they're like cutting everything out of their life, and they still can't get it together.
See that? No, because that gives that. I have sympathy for that. If it's your kids, you fight for it.
I have sympathy for GameStop, and they are fighting so hard, and they're not.
Why?
And they're not doing shit.
Just like change it. Just stop. Just stop being GameStop.
What they need to do is go and do what Netflix did. They need to switch from physical to digital somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah.
GameStop should have did what Stadia did. They should have made some kind of like... I think if Stadia was just called GameSpot Digital or GameStop Digital or something, I think it would do better just because of brand recognition. You know what I mean?
I'm sure they're going to try that, but when it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Blockbuster did.
You got any more news?
Yes. Let's see.
All right, you take us through.
Respawn's upcoming VR game will be announced next month. Not too much is known about the game, though Respawn has been adamant that it is not the premium Titanfall experience that it's also been working on. In a blog post, the Oculus team announced that Respawn's new VR game will be revealed this year's Oculus Connect, which is scheduled from September 25th to the 26th. The game is described as a AAA first-person combat title made in partnership with Oculus Studios. So, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to come to PlayStation, and therefore I don't care. But I am excited to see what they do. Let's see. Fortnite Season 10 is here. They had to disable a bunch of stuff, though, because it's, like, super buggy. So if you're playing Fortnite Season 10, you're like, what is going on? Why is it so shitty right now? Just hang tight. They're trying to fix it. Let's see. The 1,000-player PC Battle Royale game Maverick's Proving Ground has been canceled. Developer Ottoman Games is scuttling the project due to insufficient funding, while the studio overall appears to be closing up shop. The developer confirmed the news in a post on its website. Quote, please be advised that due to insufficient funding, the development of Maverick's Proving Grounds game has now ceased. Let's see. The immensely popular Pokemon Go has surpassed another impressive milestone. According to the Pokemon website Cerebi, the mobile game has been downloaded more than 1 billion with a B times since its July 2016 launch. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. If you happen to own Nintendo's new VR kit, Captain Toad has an adventure for you. Nintendo Europe has announced that Captain Toad Treasure Tracker has a free software update which uses the virtual reality goggles, and it's available now. Let's see. Obsidian's RPG The Outer Worlds is coming relatively soon. But if you can wait a little while longer, you can play it on the Nintendo Switch.
We did that last week.
Oh, we talked about that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. That's all I got.
Okay. Boom. News. Done. We're going to move on over to this week's releases, where you can find out what brand new games you can purchase or grab in the next 7 days, starting with Pillars of Eternity, coming to Switch on August 8th for $49.99. Prepare to be enchanted by a world where the choices you make and the paths you choose shape your destiny. Obsidian Entertainment and legendary game designers Chris Avallone, Tim Kaine, and Josh Sawyer are proud to present the classically styled RPG Pillars of Eternity. And then we got Run, Roll, Rumble coming to PC on August 7th. I couldn't find a price for this game, but Run, Roll, Rumble is a city, office, everyday life-themed multiplayer brawler game for up to 4 players, local and internet. R3 takes place in an ordinary neighborhood of the angry rumbling, Rumbling is what they do. What? It is friendly yet dangerous. Characters dressed in everyday life. These people had superpowers, superhuman jump, and punches. Crazy world make it even more suitable for these awesome brawlers. Challenges and dangerous surprises in the arena will give them quite a hard time.
Sounds like a caveman right now.
Obviously, English was not their first language. Age of Wonders Planetfalls coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on August 6th for $49.99. Age of Wonders Planetfall brings all the exciting turn-based empire building and immersive tactical combat of its predecessors to an all-new sci-fi setting. And then we got Ancestors Legacy coming to PS4, Xbox One on August 13th for $39.99.
This isn't that game where you're a monkey, right?
No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
called Ancestors. This is Ancestors Legacy is a squad-based real-time strategy with a strong focus on tactics. Inspired by medieval European history, it brings to life 4 different nations and their conflicts, usually solved by war. No, the one that you're thinking of is coming from Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Then we got Vicious Circle coming to PC on August 13th for $20. Vicious Circle is an online multiplayer-only shooter set in a retro-futuristic sci-fi universe. Your objective, battle with and against other players in short sessions to outwit, outgun, and outrun each other in the battle arena. This is a Rooster Teeth game.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. And then we got Rebel Galaxy Outlaw coming to Switch, PS4, and PC on August 13th for $29.99. Rebel Galaxy Outlaw is a blue-collar space combat adventure packed with outlaws, explosions, gleefully unrealistic spaceflight, and a hell of a soundtrack. A sort of prequel to 2015's Rebel Galaxy. This time you are dropped right into the cockpit for high-octane space combat, over 20 hours of subspace radio, side activities like billiards and dice poker, plenty of sketchy characters to meet, and sketchier jobs to take on. Nobody's saving the universe around here. They'd settle for saving a couple of credits. And then we got Mustache Amigos coming to Xbox One, Switch, and PC on August 7th for $18.99. Mustache Amigos is a humorous, family-friendly fun fest with controls so simple that anyone can play. Experience a loco top-down battle racer filled with piñata stampedes, avocados, and mayhem for up to 4 players. Leave rivals eating your dust as you blaze past them in race mode. Dish out the damage in battle mode to prove your might. Compete in tournaments to truly uncover the worthiest champion. And that's it. That's all that's coming out in the next 7 days, guys.
Man, slow week.
Slow week. A week.
week.
Yeah.
Cool. I got August free games for PlayStation finally.
All right, drop them.
All right, let me lay it on you. This month, we are going to have Sniper Elite 4, which, I know a lot of people like that shit. And we're getting Wipeout Omega Collection, which, in my opinion, is one of the best VR games out there. So if you got a VR headset, pick it up. If not, it's just kind of a basic racing game. But in VR, it's fucking sick. And it's like 3 different games, too. Like 3 full games. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're going to jump on over to currently playing. Brent, you want to start us off? You want me to start us off? How you want to do this?
I'll kick it off.
Okay.
I'll kick it off. So, I've been playing more Yakuza Kiwami. I got really into it this week. I don't know, something about like the character development or something progressed to a point where I just like I'm in it now. I really love it. It's really fun. It's really, really good for a PS2 game. Like, just like the quality of like the game itself is like really fun for like a game that was made back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's this character in the game called Majima, and like for some reason he wants to like fight you, and like one of your skill trees in the game is like the only way you can build your skill tree is by fighting this guy, and he like just like runs up to you randomly in the middle of the town and he'll fight you, or like you'll go into a bar and like he'll turn around and he'll be the bartender and he'll fight you.
What the hell?
Like he'll like jump out from behind like walls and stuff, and like one time I picked up a traffic cone and like he was under the traffic cone, like and like every time you fight him and beat him, you get like you add on to your little rank for his little thing, and it's like Majima everywhere. And he's everywhere. It's so fucking funny. Like, it's hilarious. Like, the sense of humor blended with, like, the dark, mature story. It's just, like, a really weird, unique, fun game. I highly recommend it. But, last night, I played for, like, ever. You know what I mean? And I was so into it. And then I woke up this morning, and I was, like, about to jump back into it. And it was like, oh, I'm sorry. Your PlayStation Plus membership expired. And I was like, fuck, because it was one of my free games from PlayStation Plus, so I can't play it unless I have my shit up to date, you know? So I'm like, oh, man, I'm so deep into it that I'm like, when I get back from this cruise, I'm totally going to have to buy myself another month of
PS Plus.
Yeah, just to finish the game, you know? But, so I was a little disappointed, and I was like, all right, whatever. I'll play the old Xbox, you know? So I fired up the Xbox this morning, and apparently I can't use my Game Pass right now because there was some kind of issue with like people who are using game sharing, like, and it's happening with everybody. Because like I freaked out. I called Justin. I was like, "Hey man, is your Xbox having problems with the game sharing thing?" And he was like, "Yeah, I don't know what's going on." And he looked it up online and sent me this like article. And apparently, like everybody's having this problem right now. So their Xbox is like fixing it. Hopefully, when I get home, I'll be able to play. I really wanted to play that Resident Evil 4. They just added it on to Game Pass. But so I was like, all right, well, fuck. My PlayStation's not really working good. My Xbox is out of the picture. I was like, time to pick up the old switcheroo, you know? So I put in Mario Odyssey, which I forgot I still had. It's your game.
Yeah.
But I put it in, and I've been playing that, and dude, it's so much fun. Like, I thought I had beaten it for some reason, but I still have like a couple worlds left, I think, and I'm just having a lot of fun with that. I've been playing a lot of it, and it's just like a good like chill game. You know?
Very chill.
You don't have to like stress about anything. Even if you die a whole bunch in a part, it's not like imposing. Like you're not like, fuck, I gotta go so far back. I lost all my coins. No, it's like. Yeah, it's just chill.
Unless you're trying to get all of the stars. Or all the moons, I mean.
Dude, it looks so good when it's docked, too. I mean, it looks good regardless, but, like, on that big screen, man, it's Mario beautiful. Has never looked better, you know? And so I've been playing that. I've been playing it with the Joy-Cons detached, too, because usually I just play with a controller, but I've been kind of into the whole swinging the Joy-Con thing. So I've been playing that, and then, weirdly enough, I probably shouldn't even talk about this, because it's, like, not technically a real game. It's like a phone game. But I've been playing a fuckload of it this week. I'm getting back into Marvel Contest of Champions. So, I was playing this a lot back in the day. It's like my game. And I booted it up recently, and I had to start a whole new profile, and I was kind of bummed about it. And then I did something. I don't remember what I did, but, like, I did something, and it brought back all my old shit that I had from back in the day. So now I've got, like, just tons of fucking characters. I'm, like, so ahead of the game, you know what I mean?
Nice.
So I'm just getting back into it. It's a lot of fun. They've added a lot of new shit into it. If you like phone games that are, it's microtransaction heavy, but I've never paid a single cent in this game, and I have, like, tons of characters. The only real requirement is that you, like, play it every day if you want to get, like, lots of
new
good
characters
rewards
and stuff.
But yeah, it's a good one, man.
Nice.
And yeah, that's what I got.
Sweet. Sounds like a fun week of gaming. I actually played a lot of GTA 5 this week.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you play the story mode or the online?
No, we were just playing in like single player, but we were just like entering cheats and like going on rampages. Like after we played the original GTA, it kind of got me wanting to go rampage, on GTA 5. So me and my brother would just we would just enter in like a super high jump and then like a super fast run.
You've beaten the campaign mode, right, on 5?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, back on the 360.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, when it came out, yeah.
But it's still fun. It still holds up.
It really does.
Yeah,
great game.
I like it.
I really want to try the casino update because,
no, that's a bad idea.
I'm a casino kind of guy.
Yeah, but you're just using real money to get in-game money.
No, you don't have to. You can use your in-game money, I'm sure.
I don't think so.
In the game.
But if you do, then you can run out, and then you have to use real money.
Well, then you can just go do a mission, and you don't have.
I don't know. I'm not positive.
You don't ever have to use real money at all in GTA Online. Like, you can use your in-game money to play in the casino. That would be ridiculous if you had to use actual money to play casino games in the fake casino.
I know you can. Yeah, you can use real money to buy fake money.
Yeah, of course. That's like every game nowadays, though. But you can also earn money in the game. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna have to check that out. I want to look more into it before I say for sure what it is.
That would just be ridiculous if they were like.
What if it was though?
It's not. It's not.
And then also Evil Within. I only have like an hour left of that game. I'm like 15 hours into it.
I feel like you said that last time.
No, last week I was only 10 hours in.
Okay. Of the 15.
Of the 15. Now I'm like another, like, I'm like right there. But it's like every time I think it's almost over, it's like, oh, here we go again. I get displaced again.
That's why I'm so butthurt about the Yakuza game, because like I feel like my skill tree is like getting close to being maxed out. Like I feel like I got to be getting to
close to the end,
to like some kind of climax or something, and it just cut me off,
Yeah, that's how it goes in the gaming world. Yeah, but anyways, we're gonna jump on over to the topic of the show. We have a guest featuring today, so hope you guys enjoy. All right, guys, we are here with B. Ray Pennington, with the coolest name on the internet, and basically. B-Ray, tell us who you are. Tell us what you do on the internet.
Besides your mom?
Oh, damn!
Oh!
That's
the
sick.
Roast! Oh my goodness, coming with the heat early, B-Ray. I like it.
In North Korea, this would get censored.
And what's that
what
game?
Talking
in
about?
Taiwan,
in America on YouTube, it'll get censored.
That's true. That's true. That burn was... It actually hurt a lot.
Oh, the sickest of burns.
I'm so sorry. Well, never mind. I almost went further, and I'm like, nah, I'm just going to stop while I'm ahead.
What's further than doing my mom on the internet?
You don't know, Jamal.
Well, the burn that your mom gave me.
Oh, my gosh.
I gave you the opportunity. I gave you the opportunity to walk away.
That was like a burn mixed with like a self-inflicted burn. That was just, there's just burns everywhere there.
Jamel hurt himself in confusion.
It's super effective.
No, but besides my
so
mom,
anyway,
what are you doing on the internet?
Okay, so I am an artist, illustrator, cartoonist. I do a webcomic. I do some pixel art, some mixed media, just kind of all around various arts type of stuff.
You do some pretty cool stuff. Like we saw your you do your like pixel art stuff, and you sell your stuff as well, huh?
Yeah.
So all of it looks really cool. We're gonna have to definitely commission you to get us some pixel art for our wall.
I am all about it.
and your like production stuff, you go by Geekvisionproductions, correct? So
yes,
you have like a website.
Right. Sort of. I've tried to get like a proper website, but truth be told, I'm actually really bad at that kind of stuff. People see the name Geek Vision and they see that I'm into nerdy stuff, I'm into video games, and they think, and I'm kind of youngish. 32, is that young anymore?
I feel like
it's young to me, damn it.
But they're like, oh, you're good at computers.
No.
But no, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, like, it's because you're an artist, you know. Like, what happens is you gotta have the guy who's behind the scenes doing all the computer stuff. Like,
right.
That was basically, I had to teach myself everything because, like, we don't know anything, you know. Like,
it's kind of incredible, actually. Like, every week I come over here and JAMAL just has some kind of crazy new thing he's learned, and he's like showing me all this stuff. I just, if we didn't have JAMAL's like incredible brain overseeing this, none of this would be possible. It's fucking wild.
But you put me in school, and I will fail absolutely.
Yeah. I tried art school. I did it for a couple of years, and then I tried to transfer. Transfer fell through, and lo and behold, here I am, a college dropout. But that just means I have half the debt I would have had otherwise, so
Hey.
Doing the exact same thing I would have done.
I'm sure you picked up a few tricks while you were there.
Yeah. I mean,
we're all college dropouts technically.
Yeah, so, I am for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Right. I'm like junior college dropout. Like that's even worse. Like.
No, that means that you can put yourself in even less debt than the rest of us. So congratulations, you wised up.
Yeah. So if you're listening at home, drop out of school. No, I'm just kidding.
Right? Yeah.
Follow your dreams.
Must, kids. Don't go to college. Don't take our advice seriously.
So you wanted to talk about, or the topic of the show today, you wanted to talk about video game art and like fan art and music as well, like soundtracks and games. Yeah. And so it's kind of just like a broad conversation. I didn't want to get too like, oh, my number 5, you know, like we're just gonna chill out and talk about something.
Right. It's so hard to number things like that. I feel I always try to make up these lists in my brain, but they always change.
Yeah,
because there's just so much good stuff out there. It's hard to, you know, it's like choosing a kid that's your favorite. I guess some people do that, but you know what I mean. Like it's so hard to choose and stick with it. Because, like, you might be filing something different from one day to the next.
You're right. You know, some days I write my stuff, like, the night before. And I find a lot of times I'll write a list the night before, and I'll come the next day, and I'll realize, you know, okay, maybe my number 5 is actually my number 1 that day.
Yeah.
Or one of my, you know, honorable mentions is what I feel like should have been on the list. It's like, well, what was I thinking last night? You know what I mean? Because it's kind of about, like, my mood at any given time. You know, I have a few that kind of, like, revolve around the top, but, you know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say what my favorite is, you know?
Well,
yeah, exactly.
On the whole thing, I kind of did, like, I was like, okay, here's, like, art, and then we can do music, and then you told me that you had a video game theory, at least one that you wanted to bring up, because you heard the last episode.
Right.
So we'll save your video game theory for last. That way we can end
Sounds
it
good.
on a banger. And leave people to think. But so let's start this off with some art. You can start us off, B-Ray.
Okay. You're giving me full control even after our intro.
Oh yeah, man.
Which, by the way, I take back every unkind thing I ever said.
I'm a sadist, okay?
Fair enough. Well, yeah, I could talk art and video games all day long. So, man, I'm not even sure where to start. I guess, for me personally, art and video games have been such a huge influence on me just my entire life. Because, like, my earliest memories were the two things were playing the original Super Mario Brothers on the NES and with a pencil and paper in my hand, just, like, drawing, whatever. And so, you know, even then people would be like, oh, you're going to be an artist when you grow up? And I'm like, yeah. And, like, I was serious about it. You know, like, some kids, they change. They're like, oh, maybe I'll be a dentist, or maybe I'll be an astronaut, which being an astronaut would be cool, but I'm not near smart enough for that. So,
right.
But like I always stuck with, I'm gonna be an artist, and here I am, grown up, and I'm an artist, and it's what I do. Like, you know, so I feel like that's pretty awesome.
So is that like your full-time job, by the way, or is that
it took me a while to get there, to get like confident with it, I guess, and you know, I'd be out of line to not mention that my wife has been like a huge supporter in this, and if it weren't for her, like I could maybe do it, but it would be questionable at best. But
Yeah.
you know, like
You got to have that support system whenever you're an artist. Like it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
you have to have those people around you that believe in you, even though you sound like a crazy person. Because like
right.
you know, if it's the same, you know, with our girlfriends, you know, like I imagine if I was dating anybody else and I was like, I'm going to start a video game podcast, you know, they'd be like, no.
Exactly. Yeah.
You need to put your money into, you know, somewhere smart. But like, I've always been about chasing my passions. So like,
yeah.
and you seem like a fellow passion chaser. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, I totally respect and appreciate that, and I feel like everyone should, or they should at least get the opportunity to. You know, I feel like if you don't try, you don't get that chance to like chase what you're passionate about and live for that. You know, like you never really live. You never really get that full satisfaction. You know, even if it's like a brief moment in the sun, as long as you like get to explore that, I feel like everyone should get to. But that's just, you know,
even if it's part time, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So what? Okay, what was the first thing that came to mind whenever you thought video game art for today's topic? Like what? Whenever you sat down, you're like, okay, video game art. Where did your mind go?
Well, a couple different places because my mind works like that. But you know, there's so much fan art out there, which I feel is great, that like there's this community of something that fuels such a passion in people that like they love it so much they want to recreate it and sort of put their own spin on it, and I think that's great. I know there's some controversy in that, and I mean some of my sales have been fan art, but you know.
Yeah, but I mean it's your own work, you know, technically.
Right.
Unless, like, you know, you're just taking a picture off the internet and, like, adding a birthday hat to it. And then, you know.
Oh, no, he's on to me. But, no, I mean, like, because I'm drawing it from scratch, just using references or whatever. But also, aside from that, video games themselves are such a huge work of art, and I don't know if everyone really takes the time to recognize that, because some people don't really see it that way. But I see it as like there's this team, you know, building this universe, this thing, and there's so much detail in it. It's like a movie or a book or anything like that, where you know, you're creating this thing and you're considering it a work of art. I feel like video games are the same way, because they tell you the story and they bring you on an adventure, and like there's these creative minds that go into it to design the characters and the worlds and the levels and all that. So, you know, I feel like it's a masterpiece in a way. See, in the same sense.
I'm totally with you there. I feel like, in a way, video games are just art as a team sport, you know, interactive art as a team sport, you know, and like, when JAMAL said, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of video games and art, the very first thing that comes to my mind is a specific video game. It's the game, What Remains of Edith Finch. Have you played that?
No, I haven't.
It's excellent. It's a wonderful game, and it just oozes art. Everything about it, like the story, the just level design, the everything about it is just a work of art. Absolutely. And I really think you would you would appreciate it, man. Absolutely.
That's the first thing that came to my mind was BioShock, just because the art direction that they chose with like the steampunk in the early 1900s, like classy like look, but mixed with like this grungy, you know, drug-ridden like city underwater. Like it's like in video games you really can do anything, you know, like that's something that to do in a movie you would have to have a budget that's just like beyond anything, you know. And like video games, you get to be a part of that world too, and for you know less than what a movie costs to make. And you know, I just feel the immersions there with the art, you know. It's a good mix. And I mean, like Final Fantasy VII as well has that same like even though it came out in 1997 or something like that, it's still to this day, when I see the art for that game, the background static art and stuff like that, it's just so immersive to me. It's I get taken to that world or transported there every time I see it.
Well, it's a lot like that Yakuza game I've been playing recently too. That was originally a PS2 game, and I feel like the art in that game isn't so much how the game looks, but the way they incorporate Japanese culture into the game. It's really I don't know, you can see the influences and stuff of just a cultural art infused into the game. I don't know, it's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, what about you? What's a game that you think about, B-Ray?
Oh, well, just a specific game? Oh, man, you put me on the spot. That's really hard to narrow down.
It doesn't have to be the game,
know? Maybe a specific art style that you see in games, whether it be the cartoony looks of, Mario or cel-shaded design or something like that.
Yeah, well, I might have to throw out a couple examples if that's okay. Because a big moment for me in my childhood art and video game history was when Super Mario RPG came out.
Oh,
and
dude, yes.
I had never played an RPG. I was strictly a platformer guy. And, I loved Mario. That was the first series I ever got into, and it's still my favorite series. I'm a huge Mario fanboy, I'll admit it. So the player's guide for that was out in stores, and I loved the style because it was so different than how Mario looked before.
Yeah.
Just that sort of weird bubbly 3D. I liked it. I thought it was unique.
Me
so
too.
I bought the player's guide, the strategy guide, so that I could draw the images in it and sort of mimic that weird bubbly style. And I didn't have the sense to read it and find out what the game was like. I was just oh man, this is so cool, I'm going to draw the art. And then I remember renting the game back when that was still a thing. I popped it in, started it up, and I'm running around this 3D environment. I'm Mario, and then there's a Goomba, and it's I'm going to stomp this bitch. And then I go to jump on the Goomba, and it suddenly cuts to a battle scene, and I'm what is even happening? I was floored for a moment. I was what is this? What am I doing right now? I just because I said, never played RPGs, so I didn't know what was going on. So it was this surreal moment for me. But I got so into it. Now I consider it one of my favorite games ever. It was at such an important time in my life, and it left this impression. In fact, one of my favorite art pieces that I have is this 4 foot by 5 foot, maybe even bigger than that. I'll have to remeasure it. But it's a replica of the world map from Mario RPG, and it's huge.
Dude,
it's so huge I can't
badass.
frame it. I just fold it up. But it looks like an old treasure map. I used old tea bags to stain it and give it that aged parchment look. And I hand drew each little landmass and each building, and I'm super proud of it. I just don't get to display it very often because of how immense it is. But so that 20 some odd years later has still held true and still continues to influence me. So I guess there's that.
That's really cool. I can't believe you drew the whole map on something that huge. That's really neat.
It took several sheets of watercolor paper because I couldn't find one big enough. So what I did was I just bought a book of watercolor paper and then taped them together, which is fine because I folded up anyways, so it works.
Man, that's pretty cool. And Super Mario RPG is a great example of art in games, just because they really pushed the limitations of the console to make that game look as good as it did. I mean, I don't know. There wasn't much else on Super Nintendo, maybe with the exception of Donkey Kong, that just looked that good. You know what I mean?
Well, and if you compare the sprites, I feel they have a similar Donkey Kong Country. Yeah. Where Donkey Kong Country was the first one to kind of create that idea, and then they took it a step further with Mario RPG, And if you look at like the Donkey Kong inspired enemies in that game, they look like Donkey Kong, like, you know, because you've got Chained Kong and Gorilla were like the two that straight up they just look like Donkey Kong.
Man, I didn't even think about that. That's a really good point.
Yeah, and Donkey Kong Country is my favorite game of all time, basically. Awesome. But like, mainly because of the art. Like, whenever I was a kid, I remember it impacted me so much because like I was so used to playing, like you said, like Super Mario Bros. And then like suddenly you see these like 3D rendered characters like in the same type of world as Mario, except for it was just like, oh, this looks real, you know, to me at least whenever I was a kid. And like it's lasted this long. The art itself, I imagine I would have liked Donkey Kong as a kid if it just looked like your typical Super Mario Bros, but I think the art had a huge hand in making it my number one game of all time, like leaving that lasting impression.
Not to mention, like, the music meshed so well.
I was going to say that, too. It's so iconic. It gets stuck in your head. Yeah. And I don't know if you played the sequels, the newer Donkey... Not like the early sequels, but like Returns and Tropical. Yeah. Oh, my God.
They're so good.
Platforming is so tight, and the music is just like... as good as the Super NES, I would say, but like revamped. It's like, I don't know. I just love the musical direction it took.
Oh yeah, I feel like the Donkey Kong Country series has some of the most memorable music in video games. That basically everything from the SNES, like they did a really good job of like making catchy hooks that like never get old. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like so good. I think for me, Yoshi's Island, like the first one, just some of the best. Oh my God!
Yeah, that's the jam right there.
Yeah, it's hard for me to play any Yoshi game past. I mean, like they're fun and I enjoy them, but like when the soundtrack comes on, it's like, why does this suck? Not to be that way, but it's like this could be so much better.
Like me and Brent have this fight all the time. Like nothing, there's no other good Yoshi game, but the SNES.
No, the Nintendo 64 Yoshi game is excellent, bro. I don't even give a shit. Y'all can just y'all can go somewhere with that negativity.
It's not the negativity. It's just facts, you know. No, I understand. You can like what you like. You know what I'm saying?
B-Ray, did you play the game Psychonauts ever?
No. Wait.
I played
Scribblenauts. Is that same thing?
No, it's different.
Okay. My bad.
No, it's just an artistic kind of game. Like, it's old school, so like nowadays the graphics, you know, don't really hold up. But like the concept of the game was like you were going into different people's minds, and everybody's brain was like a different level. So you go inside of like a milkman's mind, but he was like crazy. So like the whole world is like twisted up, and there's milk everywhere. Or you go in this like luchador's mind that's like obsessed with gambling, and there's like neon cards everywhere and bowls. I don't know. It's really interesting.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a Tim Schafer game. So like if you know anything about Tim Schafer, he's like the Tim Burton of video games.
He really is. Like...
Awesome. But, I'm working on expanding my gaming library because there was a period in my life where I didn't really keep up. So I like missed out on a lot, and you know, like maybe in the last, I don't know, 10 years, give or take. It sounds like a long time now, but considering I'm 32, you know, there was like this 10-year period where I just like fell out of video games, and then I got back into it maybe 10 years ago, where I was like, yeah, feed me more video games, more.
Yeah. That's not a bad thing. I think that happens to everybody for a little bit.
That just gives you more stuff to play, you know what I mean? When you finally get back around to it, I feel like.
And I've been, like, with indie games becoming, you know, what they are now and becoming, like, such a huge industry. Like, I love diving into as many indie games as possible because I feel like that's where the love is, you know? Like, that's where these small teams and, you know, these creators are passionate about their project, and it really shows through. So it's like I try to play as many of those as I can. But there's too damn many video games.
Oh yeah, there's a lot, and there's a lot of experiences. Like we got to mention Thomas Brush. He came on the show.
Gosh, you want to talk about art and video games?
Yeah. Check out Pinstripe. His art is so unique that like even though the game isn't really like a game per se, it's more like a story.
It's a game. It's just kind of like a slow platformer. Like
I'd still call it a narrative-driven game.
Definitely.
It's more about story. You're not worried about like, oh, am I gonna die right here? It's more like I'm just taking in the scenery and the vibes. But yeah, check that game out.
The artwork is so good.
Art's great, and then also if you like Adventure Time looking art, then Adventure Pals,
another good friend of the show. One.
Yeah.
So crazy looking. What about music though? Like let's get into the music from video games that you happen to like.
Well, I mean, I feel like with most people that chiptune sound, like that 8-bit, 16-bit, like there's a certain simplistic beauty about it, but also it's more complex than you realize, even though it's got like that bleep bloop sound or whatever.
Yeah, because you got the bass line running through.
Yeah,
you know,
they're like very intricate compositions.
It's pretty insane.
I've noticed that a lot of games nowadays just have straight up like full orchestra like soundtracks. Like I played this game the other day, Blood and Truth, and I liked this song from it, and I went and looked it up online. The game has a whole original soundtrack that's like with like an orchestra and everything. I was like, oh my gosh, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they went all out on that.
Right. Well, and that's games like Hollow Knight, of course, which is just a masterpiece in itself. The soundtrack is unbelievable, and Ori and the Blind Forest, probably one of the saddest games ever, and I'm still like hype about getting sad when I play the sequel. Like, man, I can't wait to get killed. Yeah, the soundtrack, and it was like I don't think it was a full orchestra, but it was like, you know, still an orchestra, like. Because I saw videos of the dude who composed it and like him recording it, and he was so hype about his creation. He's like, "Can we just play it again, just because I like hearing you guys play it?" And it's like, man, that's what's up. So like, you know, I feel like that's just such a beautiful soundtrack that really plays into what the game is, and it brings out that mood and emotion. And it's like, man, why am I so sad?
Yeah. Definitely.
A good soundtrack can do that for sure.
Yeah, it makes it a whole lot deeper. Like, and also like sound design in general, even if the music isn't really that focused. Like, Inside. Like, have you ever played Inside?
Oh, I've seen it. Is
that the one that's after Limbo?
Yeah, it's like
it's like that,
like a spiritual sequel almost. But it's
that's such a trippy game.
Oh yeah, it's so dark and but at the same time the music and the sound design really takes you there. Like you start to get, it's like this, you know, very simple looking game, but like you can get terrified like over something that like makes no sense. It's like a hand drawn spider.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it well, and it's like the soundtrack in a movie, like the score, it sort of tells you how to feel in a sense. It sort of like directs the audience, like, you know, it's suspenseful right now, or like, oh, you're on edge, or hey, things are great, you're happy, you know. So I feel like game score sort of does the same thing.
Absolutely.
And the
sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Just the subtleties in the sound design, like you said, like just the small sound effects, or like maybe the music fades a little bit, maybe it swells, like that has a huge, you don't really notice it or think about it, and that's what's great about it. It's so subtle, but has such a huge impact.
Yeah, and I mean, there's even memes about it with like Bethesda games, you know, like like you hear the like sound of like whenever somebody's near you, like it's gonna
music,
the enemy music, and you're like looking around like
what's happening.
Exactly. But yeah, that, and then also like just with like real music in games, you know, like Tony Hawk Pro Skater was like huge influence on like my
Need for Speed games,
music and life. Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't have been such like a punk rocker if I didn't grow up on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater or Guitar Hero. Or,
Guitar Hero is a good one.
I am at that game.
Right. I got good for a long time, and then I just kind of got bad at it after a while. Like, it was kind of like riding a bike. Well, it's not like riding a bike, because that's one of those things you just are good at forever.
Right.
It's like, I don't know, I can't
the
compare it
opposite
to
of riding
anything.
a bike?
Yeah.
It's like not riding
It's
a
like
bike.
not riding a bike.
Like, good at first, and then slowly you suck. Because like I play music too. I mean I don't that much anymore, but I also play some instruments, and I was like, yeah, I could do Guitar Hero. Like I play guitar in real life, and then I went to play like Surrender by Cheap Trick, like on easy mode, and it's like, oh yeah, I can play this song. I failed it.
Yeah, some of those songs are easier to play in real life than they are in Guitar Hero.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
I still have fun doing it, and like I love playing GarageBand with like a group of people, and like that's fun. Still terrible, but it's fun. Like that's what I like about it, is it kind of brings people together to like equally suck at their fake instruments.
Do you guys remember that video game back in the day where you could plug your real guitar into the Xbox?
It was
and
called
like,
Guitar Smith.
Guitar Smith?
Yeah. I played that once. I
didn't try it. I wanted to. But I never got a chance.
I never got
played
a chance.
It was fun. We had like a whole bunch of people on stage, and I think I've got footage of it somewhere buried deep in like the the deep cuts, the secret file. But it was like just this great big group of us, and we were all like switching out instruments and playing different songs, and it was just like, it was chaos, but it was just so much fun.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. What did you ever play Halo? Were you a Halo guy?
I played Halo. So my very first foray into shooters were GoldenEye and Halo, and I was really bad at both. And I played with people who were really good, and so it like steered me away from shooters, because it's like, man, this is garbage. Why do I have to like change the camera and do all this stuff, and I can't see my person? And it's like I had all these weird fights about it, because I was like one of those like, get off my lawn, you newfangled games,
Take me back to Sierra Saturday.
And so, like, I played with some friends who were good, and they kept killing me, kept teabagging me, kept killing me, kept teabagging me, and it's like, man, what even is this? But
the music, though, the music is what I wanted to talk about on that, is because it was like the first time like high production value was like, in my opinion, the high production value was put into a game's soundtrack, where it wasn't just like an orchestra, but it was like cinematic. Like,
right.
You turn
it had
it on,
a good budget.
Yeah, you felt like you were in a movie. Like if you played the campaign, especially if you went in co-op, and then like at the end you're trying to escape the mall, you got like your friend on the gunner of the Warthog, and the music is just like you're just going flying through.
Epic.
Oh, it's so epic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to mention on that. Brent, what about you? You got any?
Yeah, I feel like we have to talk about the art of like mocapping, like actors putting like balls of light all over them and doing their thing, and then people somehow just translating that into a game. Like, I mean, technology's wild, but I mean, there's definitely some art going on there too. It's not just they're not just sticking them in the game all of a sudden. There's some magic going on behind the scenes by some very talented people. And it's kind of incredible to me how far we've come.
Absolutely. I remember when you had your first Xbox, and I remember us distinctly having a conversation about how there's no way graphics could get better. They're like, what are they going to do? Start putting real people in the game? Pretty much.
Right? It's like that too, where it's like, oh, this is the epitome. This is the standard. And then the next console, it's like, what? That's even better?
Yeah. Right?
It's like, how?
It's hard to imagine too, because there are times when I'm watching sports games and I'm like, is this real? Like I legitimately have to look at it for like 5 minutes before I can tell, like, if I have to find like a little flaw, like somewhere, like a character in the crowd that's like the same or something, it's just amazing. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that's an art form all in itself, and like I feel like I can definitely appreciate all the different art forms in game design. 'Cause I like the simplistic pixeled stuff, just for what it is, what it represents. I like the style of it, but I'm a sucker for really good graphics too. I can't lie. I mean, there was a time where it's like, F good graphics or whatever, but now it's like, that takes some really high skill that I don't have, and I appreciate that. Plus, it's nice to look at,
Totally. I mean, you have to just admire the amount of like work that probably went into making a game like God of War, like the new one, or Red Dead Redemption 2 or something like that. It's just incredible.
It's eye candy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, like pixelated games have their place in art, and but I think a lot of people see like these big AAA companies are like, oh, that's not art, but it is. It's just,
yeah.
They might not have as much free reign to do what they want with it, but like it's still a bunch of artists in a room, creating these beautiful landscapes and worlds for you to.
I couldn't do that.
To me, that almost makes it more impressive that they can coordinate like 600 brains together to all form one cognitive like piece of art, or piece of.
That's legit.
That's kind of amazing to me. It's like a hive mind kind of thing, like
Jim, you work on the rock.
Right.
No, not that rock. That rock.
Not the rock, but that particular pebble in the game. And Joe Brad, you do the dude's pinky, but only a frame of it.
Exactly. It's got to be pretty stressful, I would imagine. But yeah, so
just right. Oh man.
Do you have any like any more like games that you want to shout out for their art or their music before you drop our our video game theory for us?
Well, I guess a good way to segue into that. I guess because the theory revolves around a game, and I haven't mentioned it yet because of this, but. Before that, just I guess a couple of games that I've been really into. Don't Starve has like a really cool soundtrack and such a neat style, and like I just love that game. And then
really pretty game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's so unique. It's I mean, it's survival crafting, but I feel like it's done right.
Yeah.
The artwork's a little bit like that Pinstripe game.
Yeah, it's almost Tim
Burton. Yeah. And I've seen some footage of the Pinstripe game, and I love the way it looks. And I like what I saw of the story. It's really, really unique, because I do love a good story, and I do love lore. I love a game that's like either saturated with lore or it gives you like just enough to leave you wondering. So yeah, there's that.
I like either or too. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Lore whores.
Definitely. And so anyway, so the other game I want to mention, it's become just an absolute favorite of mine. It's Axiom Verge.
I've heard it's good.
It is amazing. And I might overhype it, but I don't know. I just when I first played it, I just immediately fell in love with it. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, this is a Metroidvania
type
game.
Yeah, it plays a lot like an old school Metroid, like Super Metroid, but with a mixture of like Contra and just a bunch of other games influenced it. So like the weapon system is a lot like Contra. You've got all these like really neat heavy power guns, and like the bosses are like these giant creatures that fill up almost an entire room, and they're like really unique designs. And it's like a blend of 8 and 16-bit, so it's got that pixel art, but the bosses are just so intricate that it's like you think that you're looking at a fully drawn, illustrated, like the designs are just so cool, and it's got like that really cool creepy ambience, and so it's like it's very 80s inspired, and it's got.
Is it on all consoles?
Yeah.
Yeah. All consoles, PC. So like I highly recommend it. A unique thing about it is that the team was one guy, one dude,
Really?
Thomas Happ. He did the music, he did the art, he did the coding, he did everything that you could think of that you would need to do to build the game. And like that's just so impressive to me because I couldn't even begin to try to do that, you know? Like, and I like coming up with characters and worlds and doing, you know, this lore building, but like for him to do that on his own and create this whole game out of it that has like some really good replay value too. Like I have played it so many times at this point, and it's just got such an extent. It's one of those that it's got like the deep lore that you kind of get a glimpse into it, but it leaves you wondering like, what's really happening here? But
man, I'd really like to reach out to that guy and talk to him. That would be really cool.
Incredible, yeah. So he did it in 5 years, and it started out as just a side project. He was just like, I just want to do this game. And like some people caught wind of it, and they're like, "Man, this game is really cool. You should really like pursue it." And I think
towards do you have any funding or anything?
No, not until like towards the end. And I might be a little, I might not have the facts just right. So like, don't come at me like, "Man, you were wrong about that." But if I remember right, I want to say that Sony caught wind of it when he was towards the end, and like, you know, threw some backing at him to like, the deal was it's going to be Sony exclusive for X amount of time.
Wow,
and
okay.
I feel like that's a fair deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, no, it's such if you love Metroid games and you love just like retro games, I've got the soundtrack on vinyl too. That's how much I love it. It's like sort of this 80s synthwave, and it like has really good, I don't know. If you're into that, it's like it sort of makes you feel like you're playing like a legit Alien or Terminator type of game. So
that's awesome.
Dude, I'm gonna have to check that out. How much does it cost? You know,
it's like $15 or $20. I thought it was on Game Pass, but it's not.
Oh man, I might get it on Switch if I have the option. You know what I mean? That sounds like a Switch kind of game to me.
It's digital and physical, and so like I first got it on the Wii U because I'm one of those rare people that actually enjoyed the Wii U.
I did too. I was right there with you.
I enjoyed it. I just didn't own one.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair. But so I got it on that first, and I fell in love with it, and then I started branching out to other consoles and being not just a Nintendo fanboy. And I got it on the Xbone. I don't know if other people still call it that. I do, because when it was announced, everyone was like, "Yeah, the Xbone, it makes sense." So I still call it that, but people look at me like I'm weird, and it's like, really, you don't know what the Xbone is?
You don't play the Xbone, dog?
Sounds dirty if you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Got that Xbone.
Oh, I got it, bro.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, and that's just it. It's a game that I had to keep buying for all my consoles. And so, like, the ultimate was getting, the Switch version and getting the physical copy. So, like, that's where I've ended, and now I'm just gonna wait till he finally puts out a sequel, and then I'm gonna go crazy on that one.
Nice. Yeah. So so you have a theory for that game, for Axiom Verge?
I do.
Really? I never we had to do like a lot of research on like video game theories for the last episode, and I didn't see anything for Axiom Verge, so I'm kind of interested.
Yeah, I've tried to look it up too. There's not a great deal out there, and I know it's a fairly popular game, but I don't know if it's just that no one's touching on the lore or anything. But like, I feel like there's such a rich thing there.
So is this your theory?
Yeah,
like, did you make up this theory? Oh, okay.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
We're touching on this now.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm probably not alone. It's just like no one else has really addressed it, and I'm hoping somebody does. You know, but now, so I'm trying to think. Have you guys like looked at the game at all?
I've seen the art and stuff. I don't know.
I'm pretty in the dark about it. Axiom Verge. Yeah.
So the idea is you play as the scientist who works in a laser lab, and you get this intro cutscene where there's like a lab accident, there's an explosion, and he suddenly wakes up in this like strange biomechanical alien world, and he has no memory of anything except the explosion, and he hears a voice calling for him, and he's saying, Trace, wake up, you need to get a gun in the next room, and like that's your intro to this game. And it's like, whoa, and like it's got that real ambient soundtrack where there's like not much music, but there's like this creepy sound. And like it does that classic Metroid thing where it's like, oh, I can't go forward because something's blocking me, I gotta go backwards. Yeah. And there's the gun, the Axiom Disruptor, and it like then the soundtrack sets in, and it's like this do 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 like this, punchy 80s synthwave. It's so cool. And so anyway, as the story unfolds, you meet these like giant mechanical heads that seem still and lifeless, but they're talking to him like in his mind, and they're telling him, there's been this great tragedy that's happened. You've got to find the bad guy and kill him, and we could do it, but we've been hurt in this great war. And you pick up like these little notes and these lore tablets and things that kind of give you pieces of like a history. The place is called Sudra, and these heads are called Rusalki, which in their language it means water machine. And so like there's these giant like war robots, basically. Like you just see their heads, but like later on you see their bodies in the background, and they're enormous. And like there's one that looks like a serpent, a scorpion, some Cthulhu hentai-esque shit. Nice. But it's like, the main character, he's like, are these your bodies? And he has like this moment of like shitting himself. And so he finally comes face to face with the bad guy. And I don't want to spoil anything, but there's this connection between him and the bad guy that's real important, right? Mm-hmm. And so like they come face to face, they talk. He doesn't want to fight him. He's like, I really don't want to kill you. Can you just give up, please? And he's like, I'm sorry, but there's no other way. We have to fight. And so they fight. He loses. And the main guy's like, you don't have to kill him. It's fine. He can't hurt anybody. Like, I've disabled everything that would, make him a threat. And then the giant head that's now attached to its body is like, sorry, and then like shoots a laser out its mouth and kills him. And then it's like this whole thing where it's like you don't know if it's a dream, if it's an alien world, an alternate dimension. You don't really know what's going on. And so my theory is that the robot heads that you're helping are actually the bad guys, and that the bad guy is just sort of portrayed that way. And like he even the whole time. Yeah, but it doesn't really give you too much of an indication. Just like the main the final boss, he's like, don't trust them, And then you even like after the credits roll, if you like do well, you get this cutscene where it's like everything's back to normal and it's like nothing happened and I'm not hurt. And the bad guy shows up and he's like, it's time to wake up now. And he's holding a gun, and all you just hear the gun go off, and the screen goes black, and it's like, what the hell is even happening right now? Right. So like I feel like the robot heads, the Rusalki, they're the bad guys. They started a war, and they wouldn't own up to it, right? And
they use you as an assassin.
Exactly. That's there might be some holes there. I might not be 100%, but I feel like that's what's really going on. And I'm hoping in either like the sequel or the prequel, we sort of see those events unfold. So
I like that. But let me form my own theory real quick based on what you've just said. Okay, guys working in the laser lab, right? Yeah. Boom, explosion. Okay, guy goes unconscious. The whole game is just a fever dream. None of it's even real. At the end of the game, when the head's telling you to wake up, he's actually in the hospital, and he wakes up from his coma, and none of it was real. Boom.
But then he shot him.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Okay.
The doctor just walks in and taps him in the head. He's like, it's time to wake up.
Well, gotta wake up now. Well, we ran out of a budget to keep you alive, so here you go.
I think I'm gonna grab Axiom Verge on Switch as well. Try and beat that.
Do it
in some coming episodes.
Yeah,
we should talk about it, and then see. We'll see if your theory was correct. Because we're actually master conspiracy theory detectives.
Nice.
No, I'm just kidding. We don't.
Right. I mean, I tried to leave out
The
details
stuff,
I could to not like spoil too much, but it's like with a theory like that, it's hard to leave too much out and make it make sense, you know? So it's like, I don't want to be spoily. So, like, the end cutscene and like, what happens with the final boss, and I'm sorry about that, but you still get to enjoy the adventure and still learn some things. Like, there's just so much detail to take in.
Well, now I can try to add to your conspiracy theory throughout.
It gives it a whole new line of fun.
Excellent. I'm glad.
But, alright, B-Ray, that's about all the time that this computer can handle.
Well, I really appreciate you guys having me on. It's been a blast.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. It was really fun just talking about art and stuff with you. Hopefully we'll have you on in a future episode where we can discuss we'll just make the whole topic Axiom Verge.
I'm down. Oh, if you guys can get Thomas Happ and me, like, I'd like that. Yeah, go head to head. You know.
If we can make it happen, we're gonna.
Yeah, I'll message the guy. I doubt he'll even respond, but we can try.
You never know.
Hey, fingers crossed. You never know.
Right?
Maybe he's just a nice dude. But yeah, everybody go check out Geek Vision Productions on Instagram and commission some art from this guy because he does some cool stuff. And B-Ray, we'll be talking to you later, man.
Definitely. Keep it real.
All right. So
B-Ray
Pennington.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump on over to the People's Champ. Brent, who is this week's People's Champ?
Man, we have a lot of contenders this week. I'll tell you that. Right now. I'll tell you that.
Contenders sounds like chicken tenders.
I'll tell you who gets it, though.
Who?
Good old Phoenix Williams, rising from the ashes over here to become the champion of the people. He says, what is your absolute one favorite song that you originally discovered in a video game?
Oh, No Cigar by Millencolin.
Oh, man.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
That's a good one. Man, there's several that come to mind. I don't know why these three come to mind specifically. It's hard for me to pick just one, so I'm going to just name three. I just hope you're okay with this.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
The three that come to mind for me are the Riders on the Storm remix with Snoop Dogg and the Doors. That was fucking sick. That was on Need for Speed Underground 2. Same game, Need for Speed Underground 2, had Thank You for the Venom by My Chemical Romance on it. And that was before I'd ever heard of My Chemical Romance. And, like, it was like, holy shit, it blew my fucking top back. But that was my, like, little kid brain. More recently, there's a song called The Hated by Dave East that's on the UFC 3 game. It's a really good rap song if you like rap music. It's like a story rap. I don't know, it's really good. I'm not even a big Dave East fan, but the song is particularly good.
Yeah, I like that. I guess I got to throw on one more, though. I guess number 2 for me would be this band called, like, Body Jar. They do a song called Not the Same on Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3.
Yeah.
that song, dude, my childhood, it's all about that song.
You know what's another good song that was in a video game? That A$AP Rocky made a song for Grand Theft Auto 5 called R. Cali. And it was, like, specifically made for the game. And it's pretty fucking good. Like,
holds up.
It does. Yeah.
I like it. Okay, so thank you, Champion Phoenix.
Yes. So we're going on
to listener questions.
Some listener questions here. Some good ones here. We got Chad McLean, the man himself.
The McLean.
He says, what is your dream job? And also, why can't you lick your own elbow?
Because our mobility It's bad.
Yeah, I'm just not flexible enough. And my dream job would be to do this every day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, real talk. It would be to, like, just quit all my other fucking, ambitions as far as work and just focus all my time and energy on, like, playing video games,
podcast,
talking about video games. Yeah, all that.
Yeah, we could do, like, a bunch of stuff. So, like, we'd have, like, different shows, like, stream, like, maybe, like, some morning shows or do some stuff like that. And then...
Like, if this was, like, financially lucrative, me and JAMAL would be putting out so much fucking shit for you guys. Like, y'all have no idea. Like, if this could be our job, like, we would be putting out, like, insane amounts of content. Like, we really would.
Every day. Yeah, and it'd be on schedule. As you can see, we are very good about sticking to a schedule. We don't miss.
This next episode will be the only episode I've missed in our whole, like, 3 years or something?
Yeah, but I mean, the episode is still gonna happen though.
Yeah, of course, it's gonna happen. Yeah, exactly.
It's not like the episode ain't gonna happen. But yeah, that would be my dream job, is to make GameSpeak podcasts like, the job, and then eventually building it up so much that we could hire somebody to like do our edits and stuff like that. So we're providing somebody with a job, like that's the goal, one day to be our own bosses, and then, working for you guys, working for the people. Yeah. Work
for the people.
Yeah.
So, good question, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We got John Hightower here.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny boy. He says, Trump outlaws violent video games. If we were living in a GTA world, how would you retaliate in this hypothetical situation? Also, what character do you choose?
Well,
all GTA characters unlocked, so I guess we can go all the way back.
Okay, I'm going Vice because you get a katana.
Okay.
And then I would katana him to death. To death. No, I'm just kidding. It's GTA world. This isn't real. I'm not threatening the president. Okay.
So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to be Michael from the most recent Grand Theft Auto game.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to Lester. Okay,
all
the
right,
guy in the game.
We're gonna go talk to Lester.
At one point in the game, you blow up a phone that the Apple CEO has. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I would do that exact same thing. I would get that kind of connection, that kind of influence, that kind of pull, and I would create some other kind of world event that took the focus off of all this. I would orchestrate my own world event. Just like I assume the government is already doing. You know what I mean?
I would just get Trevor to kill him. You just like walk into the White House, but or maybe not even kill him, just threaten him. I feel like Trevor.
Not gonna work. You're gonna have to distract or kill. There's only two options. There's not gonna be any reasoning here.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And then Trevor for president. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be terrifying. Anyways, what else we got?
We got Eric Crane here. He says, "Does jet fuel melt steel beams?" I feel like we've been asked this before.
No, we haven't, because this is a real question. This is the realest question. And the answer is, it depends on which documentary you watch.
Or YouTube video.
Yeah, which YouTube video
I've
you're
seen
watching.
lots of YouTube videos that I feel like, can debunk it pretty well. You know what I mean? Like, it might not efficiently melt it, but it'll make it much softer to the touch, and therefore able to collapse on itself. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't know. I think for a that 7-Eleven was an inside job.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, all those Slurpees lost that day.
George Bush was an inside job, dude. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
No, we won't. We'll never see.
In the next 80 years, whenever it's declassified.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Justin himself, the man, he says, does Call of Duty really need Battle Royale mode with all the great choices for Battle Royale games already out there, or is it the new fad? What games would you like to see remastered in the current/next generation? So we got two questions to tackle there. The first question, I would say, I think Call of Duty's kind of already gotten the hint with that, with the Modern Warfare coming out that's not going to have Battle Royale and stuff,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was just a fad.
But
they'll probably stray away from it in future titles, I imagine.
I think so too. What games would I like to see get remastered in current next gen? I'd definitely like to see KOTOR. That'd be cool.
Yeah, KOTOR would be amazing remastered, especially if it looked like Jedi Fallen Order, like those graphics.
Yeah.
But then also, like, I would like them to remaster Conker's Bad Fur Day just so it could bring it back into relevancy, and then hopefully get the sequel.
Get a sequel, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really need a remaster. It does just fine on its old ways, but, you know.
I wouldn't mind a sequel, just a straight-up sequel to Conker's Bad Fur Day. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we got Sarah Brock here. She says, with all of the Death Stranding trailers that have surfaced recently, are you just as confused as I am still? Yes.
Absolutely. Nobody will ever know.
Even more confused than you, probably. I'm already kind of a just generally confused person, like 99% of the time. And then you add Death Stranding into the mix?
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Death Stranding. I don't think even when that game even comes out, I don't think people will understand what it means.
I think the credits are going to be rolling, and I'm going to be like, huh?
Exactly. See, like, why? But yeah, no, you're not alone.
Okay, so we got one more here. We got Jeffrey Lewis. He says, if there was one true reason, like the boss of all bosses reason why you guys decided not to go into video games, tell us the name and how much HP it has with descriptors. Sorry, that's worded a little weird. But I think you're asking us what our like least favorite boss is in a game that like made us want to rage quit in a game. Maybe?
Will you read it one more time?
Okay, this is verbatim. If there was one true reason, like the boss of all bosses reasons, why you guys decided to not go into video games, tell us its name and how much HP it has with descriptors.
I don't know what the question is.
I think he's just saying what boss made you want to quit a game.
Oh, man.
I can tell you which one made me want to quit a game. You know in Ninja Gaiden, like right at the beginning where you fight that dude on a horse on the bridge?
Yeah.
That fucking guy pisses me off. I finally beat him eventually, but I fought him like 1,000,000 times, dude.
Yeah,
it was so frustrating.
Dark Souls 2, like the first dude on like the big like bridge floating platform thing.
Oh god.
Like, I was just like, fuck this game. Like I literally I rented it. I played it like I tried to fight that boss guy like 100 times, and then I just put it back in the case and I took it back. I was like, nope, I can't do this. It's not fun. But yeah, so if that was the question, that's my answer for it.
Yeah. Thanks for the questions, guys. Really good questions this week.
Good questions. Is it good questions or guten questions?
I think it's good questions.
Guten questions.
Guten questions.
Anyways, yeah, so Brent, take us back, dude. Take us to this week in gaming history.
All right, I just got one game for you this week.
Okay.
Just one, man. October 8th, 2006.
Okay, the year before high school began. 2006. I was 12 years old.
It's for the Xbox 360.
What kind of game?
Man, I guess survival horror, but like very light emphasis on the horror part.
That doesn't help. Give me a better genre. What kind of like is it? Platforming?
Like,
is it a shooter?
If I told you anything about the game, it would ruin it. It would give it away.
Is it a shooter though?
You can shoot. There's guns. It's kind of like a sandbox game, but like not as sandboxy.
What?
There's zombies in it.
There is zombies in it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's what is it called? Dead Rising?
Yeah, there you go. Boom.
Okay, Dead
Rising.
Boom
goes the dynamite.
2 or what?
Just the OG,
just the first
dude.
one, OG.
2006.
I remember playing it at your house. I remember it.
That's still one of my favorite games. Fucking love that game.
Hell yeah. Remember, guys, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of CreateForSanity.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast directories. Be sure to submit any questions you want read on the show to the GameSpeak Podcast Facebook group. Check out our video content on YouTube. All you have to do is search Create for Sanity. It's all one word. And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle AlJafferJamel and Brent at BrentHas1. That's the number 1. And check out the GameSpeak Podcast Instagram. We're posting on there daily. We got stories. We ask questions for you guys to answer. And also you can ask us questions for us to answer on the show. Until next time.